I've just been tracked and monitored by surveillance cameras all over the city. Oh, why you ask? Well, here in China, we're all assessed by a social credit system under the National Credit Information Sharing Platform.
Under this social credit system, each person starts off with 1,000 points. Donate to the charity, you gain points. Jaywalking on the street, you lose points. Through a system of punishments and rewards, the state seeks to analyze and regulate financial, social, moral, and political behavior and gauge an individual's trustworthiness through points. But how did it all start? In 1999, Premier Zhu Rongji sought to ease the difficulty of foreign firms obtaining information on their Chinese partners. As discussions began to create a unified, open, competitive, and orderly modern market system in 2002, the idea evolved into a pan-society digital project in 2014. To govern the society and steer China economically, there was a desire to collect social credit information to reward trustworthy and punish untrustworthy behavior. Part of the need for the system is China's crisis of trust. Since President Mao Zedong's Cultural Revolution in 1966 to 1976, there has been a breakdown of public morality. The average Chinese citizen appears to be less concerned about giving up their privacy for the sake of higher security and economic certainty. Hence, data is collected to credit points to social behaviors of citizens to gauge an individual's trustworthiness in Chinese society.
我听说过太多保姆偷窃和虐待事件了，现在的人都不想当保姆，而外来的保姆素质差，然后信用也低。
I'm all for the social credit system because it means less fraud and uncivilized behaviors are discouraged. Things in the West are better because they have a more mature credit system, right?
There are two types of data collected: financial and non-financial. If you're planning on traveling somewhere and you post about it on social media, along with your personal information and crime records, China collects this under non-financial data. Under financial data, China tracks whether you pay your bills promptly, do your taxes, and have no outstanding loans, and gives you a trustworthiness score accordingly. Now, you might be wondering, how does the government get a hold of all this data? Remember those surveillance cameras I mentioned earlier? There are over 200 million of them, all equipped with facial recognition software to track the daily activities of citizens. Government and non-government organizations such as banks, corporations, and social media also collect data from individuals for the social credit system. In fact, the market size of the big data industry in China was around $2.5 billion in 2016, and this figure is expected to maintain an annual growth rate of 30% between 2017 and 2020. But what about more rural areas? Villages like Donghuo Dangzai appoint people as information collectors who watch and document the lives of its citizens. This information, filled with stories of people living in rural areas, ends up in a local office, and a government official then gives each entry a score before the results go public. This puts citizens in rural areas at a disadvantage compared to the cities due to poor technological infrastructure. Since points are manually allocated, data collection becomes prone to personal biases, raising issues of fairness. There are also worries of a society being ingenuine, as they are forced to perform certain actions to gain points, when the repercussions of the social credit system leads to a more purposeful but ingenuine society who will be held accountable. As the government officials have the final say in how they use the algorithm to analyze the data behind the scenes, citizens have no choice but to succumb to the circumstances. While making one's trustworthiness more transparent to the public, the system itself ironically lacks transparency. For more grey areas like spreading rumors about others, how this data is calculated is not disclosed to the public.